Welcome to Paramook 2023. The other name for the course is Parapsychology Research and Education. We've been doing this almost every year since 2015. This year's topic is apparitions, hauntings, and poltergeists. We started on February 27th and will be completing the course on April 1st, 2023. You can see all of our speakers here. Tonight we're going to hear from Hideyuki Kokubo. Hideyuki Kokubo is from the Institute for Informatics of Consciousness, School of Information and Communication at Meiji University in Tokyo. The title of his talk tonight is Methodology of a Case Study on a Poltergeist Incident. Hideyuki Kokubo is a researcher at the Institute for Informatics of Consciousness and a part-time lecturer at the School of Information and Communication at Meiji University. He learned biophysics and graduated the course of physics of Nagoya University in 1981. He worked as an editorial staff for science and mathematics books at Sanseido Co., Ltd. from 1981 to 1996. He has studied anomalous phenomena, including Ki, or Psi, as a senior researcher of a project at the National Institution of Radiological Sciences from 1996 to 2005. From 2005 to 2019, he researched Psi at the International Research Institute, IRI, where he succeeded in developing 3 quantitative measuring methods for bio-PK using a biosensor, biophoton method, gas method, and fluorescence method. After he retired from the IRI, he has continued Psi research, for example, international comparisons of paranormal experiences. More information about him is available on the Society for Psychical Research, is available on the online Psi Encyclopedia, a project of the Society for Psychical Research. The link that is on the slide will also be in the description below, as well as other information about Dr. Kokubo. And now, Dr. Kokubo, the floor is yours.
Good morning, sirs and math. I have studied Psi, including Ki, for a long time. Main parts of my studies are focused on healing by PK, and I succeeded to develop new measuring methods for bio-PK using biosensor, cucumber sensor. Additionally, I have tried to study other issues relating to Psi. For example, study on macro-PK, study on field consciousness using field RNZ, questionnaire survey on paranormal experience, and investigation on poltergeist. In this lecture, I would introduce 3 cases of poltergeist, then discuss Psi field hypothesis and compare RSPK with bio-PK. This lecture consists of the introduction, case 1, case 2, case 3, and discussion and on comparing. The term poltergeist is originated from a German word which means noisy ghost. It is a phenomenon that paranormal phenomena occur intermittently for a certain period. From ancient era, various kinds of phenomena have been claimed. Unexplained movement, vanishment, or appearance of objects. Unexplained fire. Unexplained water leakage. Strange sounds. And in modern era, abnormality or anomaly of electric machines device is also claimed during poltergeist incidents. The duration of poltergeist phenomena varies, but in cases of short duration, it was difficult to conduct a detailed investigation because the phenomenon ended before researchers could begin to investigate. However, a project Poltergeist First Aid was successful. In 1995, the Vachilev Parapsychological Foundation in Moscow formed a team of experts to investigate poltergeist phenomena and established a 24-hour response system to respond to citizens' calls for help. The team had successfully investigated 7 cases, including the successful recording and filming of ignition phenomena using infrared video camera. We can expect to obtain a match date if we measure poltergeist immediately just after getting information. So, one of their results. This movie was results of their activity. 4 cameras are set and here this is television and a child sit nearby a television. Poltergeist fire occurred on the wall. This child called his mother. Once more, at the birth, mystery fire occurs, and children move to the kitchen. At that time, mystery fire occurs again. Poltergeists can be categorized into RSPK and haunting. RSPK, recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis, is defined as unconscious macro PK effects caused by a certain person, so-called as an agent or focus person. The agents are often adolescent persons or children. Haunting is a case without any persons who are a source of macro PK. Some researchers call RSPK as poltergeist and distinguish it from haunting because of difference in person dependence, location dependence, and duration. However, the difference between RSPK and haunting is not obvious. Therefore, I will treat RSPK and haunting comprehensively as poltergeist in this lecture. Please keep your attention on categories RSPK and haunting never mean that those physical mechanics are different. If we can give side effects to matters, it means that matters or space-time have a fundamental property relating psi phenomena. There is a possibility that the haunting or macro PK phenomena occur naturally under unknown physical conditions. We should remember always this possibility. Case 1. Poltergeist at Okabe family in Paraguay. This case was reported by journalist Akagi in newspaper Journal Paulista, which was a Japanese newspaper in São Paulo, Brazil. This case is very interesting, but maybe other researchers may discuss it in other lecture of this seminar. Therefore, in this lecture, I will introduce selected episodes only. This poltergeist incident occurred at 3 to 5 places. Scientific tests were repeated at the house of Mr. Katsumi Okabe, a Japanese immigrant farmer in Paraguay. Okabe's house was located about 18 kilometers from the border town of Ponta Porra. Nearby Paraguayans easily understand this phenomenon. There is a legend that invisible dwarf live in the Chaco region, and they are playing tricks on us. So when we talk together, they hear it and play tricks on us. This case, in 1962, Okabe family started to live in a house. And Poltergeist started in 1969. At that time, 4 episodes are well known. Episode of bananas. Poltergeist started at Paraguayan house about 500 meters away from Okabe's house. Poltergeist started in Okabe's tomato fields, and Poltergeist started at Okabe's house. The first episode of bananas. A Paraguayan bought a dozen of bananas and started eating them on a street. When the person ate 1 banana, he lost 2 bananas. When he ate 2 bananas, he lost 4 bananas. He thought it strange and put the remaining bananas in his pocket. Just after it, he was knocked down suddenly and fainted. This episode spread, but no one of Japanese descent believed it. 2. Poltergeist at Paraguayan house. Residents of this house, they experienced anomalous shaking of furniture. And many things, many objects were thrown out of the house. Rumor of phenomena spread and outlookers pricked to the house. The phenomena was said to have occurred just in front of the onlookers. All young people of the house ran away, escaped from the house. In 1972, an elder woman was living alone in the house. This is that Paraguayan's house. Furniture and things moved out from the house, passing these streets. Episode 3. Poltergeist started in Mr. Okabe's tomato fields. An elder woman, 75 years old, was hired to tie up the tomatoes, and someone threw green tomatoes to her repeatedly. She told Mr. Okabe angrily that she would sue him to the police if he thought she was old and made fun of her. But Mr. Okabe could not understand what was going on. Eventually, Mr. Okabe began to think that something unusual was going on when a fruit of cucumber collided to his daughter's chest, and a ripe tomato hit his third son, soiling his clothes. In 1972, stones also hit people and dogs in the field. 4. Poltergeist started at Okabe's house. Poltergeist began to occur at Okabe's house too. However, phenomena occurred on only small things. March in 1972, escalation occurred, and heavy things, weight, for example, weight 50 kilograms, moved frequently. May, Nakagawa and Sasaki visited Okabe's house. They experienced anomalous appearance and banishment of things. For example, Mr. Nakagawa brought 1 kilogram package of candy as a souvenir, and then the package disappeared. After that, the candy fell little by little every night. It fell again on July 3. On May 26th, Akagi published an article based on Sasaki's experience. May 29th, Nakagawa fixed 2 tires for Land Cruiser to the main pole of the main house using iron chain. Also, he fixed rails as same. After then, he found that tire, rails, and chains vanished. He succeeded to find one of the tire, but he could not find another tire, rail, and chains. July, Akagi visited Okabe's house, accompanying Nakagawa and Sasaki. They experienced various phenomena repeatedly. After then, Akagi's reports were published on Journal Paulista. Three places of poltergeist phenomena occurred. One, house of elder Paraguayan woman, distance about 450 meters. Tomato field, 300 to 400 meters. House of Okabe's family to tomato field, the distance 300 to 400. Later, poltergeist phenomena occurred the center of at the center of this triangle, and next town of Sangaptan, distance is about 3 kilometers. Poltergeist phenomena occurred. This is a picture of the main building of Okabe's house. When small stones flying in the dining room of another building, things of the first floor of this building start moving upstairs. For example, gas cylinders, tire, bicycle, rail, and stone. These heavy things moved to second floor from first floor. But this stone maybe came from outside. These heavy things are fixed by chain at first floor, main pole of this building, using chain. However, these tires moved to second floor, even they are fixed by chain. Nakagawa's test, Nakagawa placed weight 20 kilogram on the top tire. Another tire on the top of the price, and a glass of water placed on the top of them. After a few minutes, this contraption disappeared. He looked for them. The cup had been moved a bit in the first floor. Others were found upstairs, but they were scattered. An important physical property of case 1. Paraguayan old woman's house. Furniture went outside through a gap. Okabe house, heavy object on the first floor moved to the second floor, a gap in the planking of the first ceiling. Oh, sorry. Nakagawa's test. A thin string was tied to things. In order to find out the path of travel, Nakagawa tied a long piece of thin string object, which often moved up. Things went up unseen. The threads were hanging down through a few millimeters of the planking. Nakagawa repeated this test, but the thread was always hanging down through the gap in the ceiling planks. Heavy objects on the first floor moved to the second floor through a gap in the planking of the first floor ceiling. The movement of an object is presumed to be caused by a temporary change in the nature of the space-time containing the object and passing through a gap between other objects. An excellent psychic, a Chinese psychic, succeeded to show similar phenomenon in an experiment. Chinese researchers named it matter through matter phenomenon. Chinese psychic Jiang Baoshen succeeded to pull out a string and paper from a glass bottle. At the first, paper and string here. Jiang Baoshen at first caught the string, and next pulled out the string with a paper. This is recorded by a high-speed film camera. This is string and paper. This is string and paper. Paper completed. He paper and string. He pulled out them completely. In case one, total energy of matter through matter is considered larger than ones caused by Mr. Jiang. It suggests that natural circumstance in case one had good conditions to cause matter through matter phenomenon. Case one can be considered as follows. The natural conditions to occur anomalous phenomena are adjusted naturally occasionally. However, anomalous phenomena do not occur hardly. Anomalous phenomena can be induced possibly if persons interact with natural circumstance, even unconsciously. Case 2 means H005. This is ID number of my laboratory. H005 visited her late friend's house on the anniversary of her late friend's death. When H005 entered her late friend's room, the clock started ringing and she recorded a movie. Battery of the clock had been already removed by a family. Let's play the movie. This clock is one of products of Seiko company, which is a famous company of clock and watches. The friend died in 2012. He was a designer, character design. His mother had removed battery from the clock when she had found the clock stopped about 1 year after his death. However, in 2016, the clock began to repeat the start and stop of ringing since 3 days before the anniversary of his death. Case 2 suggests a possibility that battery-operated appliances are key for weak phenomenon. H05, I tested her in our bio-PK measurement. H05, female, born in 1962, 69, and she is a nurse who works as a medical coordinator. Her bio-PK power was measured by the gas method using biosensor in December 7th, 2009. Our result was J equal 0.039 plus minus 0.111. 95% confidence interval. She was estimated as a common person, not excellent here. We can measure a magnitude of the bio-PK effect using biosensor. Her bio-PK ability was considered as not excellent. If this case 2, is caused by her RSPK, it suggests that macro-PK ability is not equal to bio-PK ability. Of course, there is a possibility that her macro-PK ability grew after the bio-PK test. Next, case 3. Poltergeist incident in 2000. Many families claimed that poltergeist phenomena had occurred repeatedly. Tomika Town in Gifu Prefecture. The residents association of the apartment asked the Tomika-cho government to take measure for the strange phenomenon, but they did not receive satisfaction. A few families left, escaped from the apartment temporarily. Residents considered that their experience were caused by the work of ghosts, and they asked a medium to do a religious ritual. This incident broadcasted and published by many media, many magazines, many news television programs. Many journalists and TV stations visited here. Location here, building. Now, this building named at Takahata apartment, and near there are river and small river stream. This is Google Earth pictures. Takahata apartment located at this point. View from southeast. The apartment building stream, and rice paddy. The second building was under construction at that time. View from northeast. At the first, focus area was located at rooms 101 to 402. Focus area moved after religious ritual. Example of phenomena which are claimed by residents or reported by journalists. Sounds similar to noisy footsteps seem to be periodical. More than half of apartments they listen these sounds. Focus area had moved to other area after a religious ritual. Flowers are easy to die. Apparition of ghosts at room 403, 404, 405. This is a portrait of a ghost. Recurrent spontaneous movements and working of materials, dish, clothes, electric machines are observed. Rotation of a compass. Rotation of a compass. And sound of this movie is not available in Zoom system. There are a sound similar water hammer. Another sound data. Knock and sonar. Details of knock and sonar begin about 1.9 kilohertz sounds. Electromagnetic anomalies are claimed. For example, a wind fan worked without power supply. A shower worked incorrectly. A gas cooking stove turned itself on. A television changed its channel automatically. Rotation of a compass was occurred. A hair dryer had worked suddenly without power supply. Some electric machine worked without power supply. As anomalous electromagnetic effects, we tried to detect magnetic signals. 3-day investigation was done. Date November 15th to 17th, 2000 here. Staffs, parapsychologist, Qigong researcher, georadiation researcher, social psychologist, professional TV crews, and others. Religious ritual was done to calm down phenomena at the last night of this investigation. Item of survey: frequency and kinds of experience, social dynamics, background radiation, magnetic field, temperature and humidity, video recording for strange sounds and moving of things. Buddhist monk of our ritual. He was not a psychic. His assistant was psychic. Collaborators, TV staff of this investigation considered that our ritual effects were given from his assistant, not him. Summary of results. Phenomena were much experienced at upper floors. Results of analysis on social dynamics suggested there were two focus families. Strange sounds were recorded. Background radiation did not show any anomalies. Strange electric signals were detected during measurements of magnetic field. Anomalous change of temperature and humidity were not observed. Phenomena decreased gradually after the ritual. During this investigation, apartment 405 room, residents claimed that invisible someone tried to turn the doorknob of entrance. A child claimed had studied her work. A child claimed that invisible someone touched and wet her hair. Invisible someone invisible someone entered from the entrance and passed through this way throughout outside. Actual claim of children.
ごめんね。なんか誰か触られた？あ、ちょっとこれ。
TV staff checked on her hair.
どこで？触ってたの？今そこでやってたら綺麗です。
She explained in her experience.
今、冷たいそこ。濡れてる？
Her hair is wet
音に
now.
感じて。もしもし。
Her father and
急に頭に。
her mother.
そうです。そういった。
They claim phenomenon.
こんな感じ。もうちょっと引っ張るような、こういう音です。その随分乱暴ですよね。はい、2回ぐらいしたんですけど、スタッフだったらもうちょっと遠慮しますしね。全然誰が来たのかな。うん。で、大体階段上がってくると割とドタンドタンドタンって足音が聞こえるんですけども、
This is 405 room. I wanted to measure here, but this room is tiled room. Therefore, under stair, room 305, I set sensors here. Resident claims that something invisible passed across rooms, as same as upper room. This is actual measurement system. Three-dimensional flux gate sensor set on the top of this angle, and magnetometer and data recorder and universal interface unit, AD converter, and computer. Estimated point at which signals were detected is here. This is a strange signal. Strange signal was observed only at Y channel. Sensor of Y channel was parallel with the path of something. Spectrum, including first signal, this is the first signal and its spectrogram. Two moving peaks are artifacted by a noise of a motor of that recorder. This power spectrum of the first signal suggested that the gain of amplification in amplifier increased suddenly at that time. The details of spectrogram, including first signal. The second signals, A and B. Strange signals were observed only Y channel. And this large signal is artifact. I got scared because I felt as if a ghost had answered me. I unintentionally unplugged the connection. Details of second signal. They seem to be different from the first signal. Discussion. Strange signals were observed only at a channel. Strange signals were recorded only by the computer, not by the data recorder. Therefore, detected signals were not magnetic signals. They are electric signals in a circuit. Especially the channel corresponded to the direction which something invisible passed across the apartment. Maybe it was a kind of meaningful coincidence. Religious ritual changed frequency or focus area of phenomenon. This incident has psychological factors possibly. Of course, hypothesis of ghosts also can explain it. Sound was similar to ones of water hammer. No big earthquake recently near the apartment. Although there are active earth faults everywhere in Japan. Evidence of usual EM disturbance have not been found. In previous measurements by other researchers, they failed to detect anomalies of radio waves. Additional measurement using field RNG. This measurement was done on December 14th, 2003. Hirokara visited the apartment building with a woman who claimed to be sensitive. Result: physical entropy was measured by an Orion RNG. Hit rate equals 0.5014. Z equals 1.244. Not significant. Accumulation of Z square minus 1 equals 57.12. Not significant. Left graph shows cumulative deviation, and right graph shows accumulation of Z square minus 1. Important points of case 3. Anomalous magnetic signals were not detected, but anomalous electric signals were detected by an electric circuit. The reasons of these electric signals were not identified, but these signals suggested that some claims of residents correspond to real phenomena. Some phenomena continued after our investigation and religious ritual, but many residents might become released from their stress. Next, discussion of psi-field hypothesis. Roll proposed an idea, psi-field, that psi-field spreads around the agent person. Here, I will discuss psi-field based on 3 selected properties of Roll's data. First, frequency of phenomena decreased exponentially according to the distance from the agent person. Point 2. Data of Miami Poltergeist showed that the moving distance of things becomes larger. Apparent magnitude of PK effects seem to be larger. according to the distance from the agent person. Data of Mayan poltergeist showed a characteristic of vortex field as right turning vortex. Spatial distribution of frequency. Lord discuss the distribution of frequency of the observed phenomena based on distance from the agent person. He concluded the exponential model is more suitable than the inversely proportional model. Lord compared only two models and did not deny a possibility that other models can be fitted. But these data, Mayan poltergeist, Seaford poltergeist, Olive Hill poltergeist, these data show exponential curve. Original data are obtained from Lord. Spatial distribution of frequency. Frequency of appearance, the focus point of RSPK decrease exponentially according to the distance from the agent person. But in this lecture, case 1, the agent person is not obvious, and there is no data of distance between the person and the observed phenomenon. Also, there are no counting data. It is difficult to discuss spatial distribution of frequency. Case 2. This case is a spontaneous single case, and there are few data to discuss spatial distribution, even if this case is RSPK. Case 3. Agent persons is not obvious. However, a fact that distribution points were moved. Spatial distribution of frequency was considered as relatively narrow, within 10 meters possible. In future investigations, it is better that researchers record all positions of things on a map in order to discuss a spatial distribution of frequency. Apparent magnitude of effect and distance. About Mayan poltergeist, Lord reported that apparent magnitude of RSPK effect seemed to be larger according to the distance from the agent person. Case 1. Although agent person is not obvious, large things often moved anomalously in the main house when many people stayed in the dining house. It does not conflict with Lord's claim. Case 2 and 3. There are few data to discuss this issue. Vortex field. All cases, it is difficult to discuss a possibility of vortex field. In future investigations, it is better that researchers record the details of position, direction, and apparent magnitude of the observed phenomenon. Here, this is a result of BioPK experiment. Does vortex field exist? This data showed volunteer healers data. Volunteer healers showed spiral pattern in BioPK experiment. 5 volunteer healers, 10 trials. This pattern is those average. This here the center healer sit down on the chair in the center, and nearby sensors this is subject healer, and target E1, E2 are targets of healing. And field measurement measuring points are set in front or back and right, left directions. Example of during PK task, bio PK task, she concentrate to these Petri dish, and other Petri dish are covered by a power tower. This is preparation of this experiment. We need many cucumber sample and make a sample dish and set sample dish and healing. Bio-PK field has two modes. This is concentration mode. I consider the bio-PK field follows a wave-like distribution basically because genius psychics showed symmetrical wave-like distribution in right, left direction. Psychics succeeded to concentrate their power against target samples under their palms. This is a concentration mode of bio-PK field. Spiral pattern was made by volunteer healers. Volunteer healers showed a spiral pattern of bio-PK field. But it is considered as dependent on healing waves because some healers said that they were imaging an image that energy rotated around them, and then energy concentrates on the target sample during a task. It suggests that a focus spot of bio-PK is also generated by healers' attention, and that the focus spot can be moved along movement of their attention. Another mode of bio-PK field, emission mode. Healers often show emission mode if they aim to generate their maximum power. Generally, Qigong healers are familiar with distance therapy. The distance is usually about 2 to 3 meters. This is emission mode of bio-PK. The center is targeted samples, but in this case, left direction large large effects were detected. Emission mode suggests a possibility that magnitude of bio-PK effect at remote place becomes larger than ones at nearby place. Comparison RSPK field and bio-PK field. Psi field, RSPK field, radial distribution is exponential. Bio-PK field, wave-like distribution is concentration mode is corresponded to radial distribution. Magnitude of phenomena becomes larger according to the distance from the agent person. This is corresponding to emission mode of bio-PK field. Vortex pattern. Vortex pattern is corresponding to spiral pattern. Here I can make spiral pattern if they image vortex movement of imaginary energy. These points suggest that RSPK has common physical properties with bio-PK. RSPK and bio-PK follow the same wave equation. I suppose a possibility that RSPK and bio-PK follow the same wave equation. Candidate or basic equation of PK. This equation is a Schrödinger equation for the harmonic oscillator expressed in dimensionless coordinates Z. This equation can be approximated to emission mode of bio-PK. For example, this data, second trial by subject 004. Blue dot actual data. These data can be approximated by a harmonic oscillator. Here, in this equation, J is intensity of bio-PK, which can be measured by biosensor. However, both terms of lambda and Z square cannot be measured by biosensor. We need to measure 3 parameters simultaneously if we want to discuss PK field. It is better to use various different kinds of sensors or detectors during a poltergeist survey. Additionally, to make a map of phenomena is important. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was very interesting, definitely beyond my understanding. But I think some of the folks who were commenting on it were quite excited about it. And I must say, yesterday in Jerry Solfin's talk, one of the things that I was thinking of was how important the Miami Poltergeist investigation was. So I find it very interesting that you are using that William Roll's idea of the vortex as a comparison, It's very, very interesting.
Thank you.
If anybody would like to say something, feel free to put your hand up or open your mic, and I will ask people. If I have closed you off, I think you can turn yourself on if you would like to ask a question, or you can always put something into the chat box as well. Brian, would you like to start? Oh, Allison Jornlin is asking, how do Buddhists in Japan interpret the phenomena of poltergeists?
Generally, Buddhists don't have psychic ability. Therefore, some persons who have psychic ability, they will change their job to their monks. Therefore, some person should live in modern society. Therefore, they want to social statement as a monk. Not a psychic.
Well, in the apartment complex, in the apartment case, where you did a ritual, a religious ritual, and the phenomena moved from one side of the building to the next side, I think, was that case 3, the little girl and all that, the little girl who was touched and so on. You were saying that a religious ritual calmed down, seemed to have an effect on the phenomena. What type of religious ritual was performed in the apartment complex in the third case?
Sorry, I cannot understand.
Oh, okay. Case 3. In case 3, there was a ritual, something religious, you said. What type? Was it Buddhist? Was it Shinto? Was it something else? For the poltergeist case 3.
Many of person who experienced poltergeist at the past, they have a tendency to talk medium or psychics. Not now we can get psychic healers information from the internet. Therefore, many people try to contact website.
Yeah, that's something people do. In case 1, when the rocks, the big rocks, case 1 in Paraguay, when the rocks moved from first floor to second floor, did any of the people see that happen? Did they see the rocks moving from the first floor to the second floor in Paraguay? Were there witnesses who saw what happened?
All process of no one view the process movement.
So it was a discovery. The first they saw the rocks in first floor and went away, came back, and they were on the second floor. So nobody saw the rock move.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah. See. Yeah, one of Jane is saying tying a string to the objects that were moving was a very good idea. I thought so too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to know it.
Yeah. If you made a theory about how the rocks could move or the furniture could move, I think you said something about a change in space-time, possibly, for case one.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of Morgan's question. That's the third one from the bottom. What would your theory be for the movement? I think you had mentioned space-time in the lecture.
Sorry, I'm reading chat now.
I see. Morgan is saying when you said for case one, perhaps a change in space-time was the cause of the movement, and she asks what would make that happen.
I think one of possibilities is the source of energy is electric power. I think, for example, lighting, Norway or Sweden, fireball, anomalous fireball occurs. Fireball sometimes fireball make anomalous metal bending and make anomalous object appearance. Therefore, fireball we should study about fireball.
Okay. I think Alex is asking, do you rule out between poltergeist phenomena and the question of survival? So if there is something to do with survival, I know you said case 3, they got a medium to come, but how do you feel about poltergeist and survival? Are they different, same, connected, not connected?
I
mean, week 2 with the clock seemed to be, connected.
I think
how do you feel?
There are poltergeist and haunting or survival problem has common physical properties. I think. For example, we can use energy. We can use the word energy, but at time energy means thermal power. Energy means sometimes energy sometimes mean electric power. Energy is sometimes mean kinetic power. But we can use one concept, energy.
Okay.
Different phenomena. Maybe haunting and RSPK or RSP, macro PK and bio PK, they are results of one common equations.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Japanese don't have interest in poltergeist phenomena and scientific research. Therefore, many Japanese cannot distinguish between PK and ghost. Researchers are very few in Japan.
Yeah.
But possession, some people believe possession is real phenomena. A few mental doctor sometimes claim possession can be recovered. Possession phenomena can be released by using electric shock. Therefore, ghost phenomena, he think ghost phenomena relates to electric field. Some people asked me bio PK measurement, but
so there's an agent there. There's someone living who's causing things. Yeah.
I have published a book.
Brian has given us a link to Dr. Kokubo's website in English, and where there is information on BioPK available with a link. This is very good. We will put that in the description of the video as well and make it available to all our students. And anything that you have on that website of BioPK research. Excellent. Dr. Kokubo is saying if everyone has questions that are not answered today, to write to him. He has given you his email, and then you can have a correspondence about an email exchange about those questions. And then we will have your website, the English website, up for the students as well. So We are now around 90 minutes, so I think probably it's many people are in the evening, so it's getting a little late, and I just would like to say how much we appreciated your talk. It was very interesting and very thought-provoking. Many of our students investigate ghosts and hauntings and poltergeists, and they found the information to be really excellent and very interesting. So I want to thank you very much, Hideyuki. This was a very good piece of our course. We are really happy for your participation.
Thank you.
You will obviously get all of the notices and everything, so you can see what we are giving the students. And if you want me to give them something else, you can let me know. I will help with that. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. It is early morning in your time in Japan. Is it morning in Japan?
Morning, yes.
Yeah, so your day is starting. My lights, it's dark outside, so my day is ending. So thank you so much, and thank you guys for coming along, and we really appreciate it. I need to put up a screen again to show them what we're going to be doing on Saturday morning. So 1 minute, please. So I wanted to tell everyone that we will be back on Saturday morning, very early at 6 a.m. Central. Beth Darlington from Access Paranormal in the United Kingdom will be speaking. I will have her information up, and you can find her biography and her description in the calendar. Also on Sunday, we will be having a 9 a.m. Central presentation with Christopher Larson and Susan Demeter. So I hope that you will all come and see us as we go along in the course. I will be sending out another, goodness me, there it is. I'll be sending out another goodness. Okay, 1 second. Let me stop sharing. I will send out another notice on Friday with Saturday, Sunday, and then our information for the week. And I will be giving you the video link of Dr. Kokubo's presentation from tonight. So thank you very much, Hideyuki. It was really lovely, and everybody was very interested. You had probably the biggest group of people so far in the course, so they were very interested in hearing you talk. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, and have a nice day or evening or whatever it is in between. Bye-bye now.